Here are 7 Ielts speaking tips that you need to keep in your mind while conducting your Ielts speaking test so that you can get your desired Ielts speaking band. Number 1. Avoid memorized answer. Memorization is one of the worst things you can do during your Ielts speaking test. Memorization is not as advisable during speaking as well as writing. A lot of the students try to memorize a fixed template or they try to memorize their answers, especially in the first part, and then they try to repeat those answers when the examiner asks them questions. This is not a good approach. The examiner is a very experienced individual, and you must realize that he will immediately figure out that the student is not speaking naturally and that he has memorized his answers. 2. Follow your natural pace of speaking. A lot of the students try to speak very fast. This is not a good approach, as speaking fast will not help the examiner understand your point of view. You might make mistakes as well, and you might miss many important points. What's important is to follow your natural pace of speaking. It should not be too fast, it should not be too slow. It should follow the optimal pace that will help you elaborate your point of view in a natural way. 3. Avoid one line answers and explain your point of view. The IELTS speaking test is looking for your ability to expand, elaborate your point of view about different issues. The examiner is not looking for one line answers. If the examiner asks you a question, do not give them one line answers by saying, yes, I like chocolates, yes, I like pizzas. You need to explain your point of view to 2 or 3 or 4 lines. This is what is going to give you a good band. So the bottom line is avoid one liners and expand, elaborate your point of view. Tip number 4. Don't be too repetitive. While it is important to use a wide range of vocabulary, it is advisable that you do not repeat the same words or the same phrases again and again. For this purpose, you need to build your English vocabulary. You need to learn new words, new phrases, and you need to have the ability to use those words and phrases in different situations in an accurate way. This is what is going to give you a higher marks. Using the same words and phrases again and again shows a limited range of a student, and it will limit your IELTS speaking band as well. Avoid going off the topic. Your answers need to be relevant, they need to be to the point, and they need to be directly answering you the questions of the examiner. Do not go off to issues that do not relate to the questions. By giving irrelevant responses to questions, the examiner will realize that this person does not have the ability to comprehend the question, or he does not have the required resources to give an appropriate and accurate answer. So give relevant answers. Tip number 6. Don't interrupt the examiner. You need to keep in mind that during your IELTS test, you have to let the examiner finish his questions. Interrupting him is not a good choice. Interrupting your examiner could be seen as rude and impolite, and it could lower your band. Give the examiner the appropriate time so that he can finish his question, then take a moment and then start your point of view. Tip number 7. Avoid slang, casual, or informal language. While during speaking test, you can use daily life phrases and verbs. They could be a little informal, that is absolutely fine, but you need to use slangs, because slangs are not really something that should be used in an academic test, be it IELTS, TOEFL, or PTEs. You have to follow your natural way of speaking, and in a natural way of speaking, people do not use academic words, but you should refrain from using slangs and try to find a balance between using informal phrases that you use in your daily life, as well as some formal words and a formal way of speaking. This blend of using daily life words and a few academic words is going to give you a good highlight speaking band.